To this the people that are grounded by continents and live life that we, be like the trees and skies. I wish that on to those who, question the answer we, seek. Why I can be poly or whatever, you'd like me to be. Wish that I feel obligated to answer that people come from all walks of life. To think when a time humans evolve into Homo erectus. So, that I'm a casual bystander to no racial stereotypes? It's following genes passed down through migration. The reason we are not abundant is social gathering and a time to settle land. And to you folks I am, the settler and from different ethnic groups. So I am not going to say who I am, as a person studying facts. It started with Homo erectus, they moved and settled like humans we close to the land that are gracious enough to break apart, to form supercontinents, and to make from nothing a bridge towards life. The question that we seek is humans evolving from that species. Pangaea has many continents on each the Eurasian subcontinent of the world that we were the last to evolve from, whatever to what we are now. As people on islands in Australia I am a part of, we the people started out as the people that are still there? The gift of life shine is the people out of Eurasia and the original people first, become Africans' ancestors, that are now spread throughout all the supercontinents. Asians left as Homo sapiens that are Negroid Asians, are also part of the first to reach migration out of Africa. They left Africa and as the Platonic plates cracked they formed social gatherings to migrate into Asia and the Sahara Desert gave them Asian shut eyelids and by the time they reach now East Asia. As my people are the last to leave and aren't the shut eyelids kind that needed to be in an arid desert. Stuff happened and the people left after them now the Aryan are the more structural and change over time into South Indians the way they are. Then if I go by what we know there's a climate change in the polar ice caps and made platonic shifts splitting the land, steadily allowing people to form circles. I think vast amounts of time and spaces are separate issue to who can make ends move to balance of showing, the people, Homo erectus are just the beginning of gathering thought circles. If I know from my side is the new birth race of people and expanding thought to bring a wave of people. Cro-Magnon have to interbreed with one another, from the now extinct Homo erectus gene pool. Why else have I known that my people and the Maori of New Zealand are more masculine than us, due to a species Homo heidelberg that the last evolving humans places next to from being captive in isles? And foremost the driving ties to man is crossbreeding like Nat Geo says, not the specific race of people, still evolving and can make it. As I've known Pangaea due to class the person that governs ourselves or the African we know today due to no migrations. As for my Aborigines people, they are my Negroid as Samoans have Homo heidelberg. Why they are exactly like that vanish roots to our ancestral heritage, the Negritos came to be. Neanderthals are gathered as such to rid us of them and aren't from any Homo erectus lineage just before we became Homo erectus as I am a part of. So we are aware of Indians of South Asia that are close to our original land such give way to the breed of people, the Caucasians like, it suggests to be another hominid and thus, a new age. Divergent people are to meet them. Such as the meeting in Eurasia so they can become modern-day Homo sapiens, as they gather social circles and tie them, they are predominantly staying elsewhere and they don't care to wipe out the rest of the species that inhabit the rest of Eurasia. They are Cro-Magnon in a sense not tied to our lineage, when we have the original crossbreeding they cross paths with one another, to form separate a new human lineage of people. As the continents shift they form continents and their Australia split apart to combine and leave behind stuff, not on the fossil records, to make ends meet, so when the last humans evolved, that we left as them. Since, the vast ocean swallowed and left behind fragments of islands in their wake, and the Pacific. The Athens are the original people leading us to civilization to bring forth change to humanity and give rise to law and order, and stay structured as people, like we have no doubt they weren't ordinary people like them. Given time corroded over eons the Americas has to be from Antarctica through a land bridge from the Ice Age, to leave a state of purification of the otherwise Homo erectus. That was still around. Which we humans interbreed with as they evolved last to overlap them, when is the continent that gave way, like the truth of more of them, Homo erectus and their DNA, even traced back to the more modern civilizations that led to authority and power. When the people can come from the continents of America as opposed not to trifle with those, left not disturbed for all time and eons ago. My people have island people in our DNA, the Austronesian, and the successor to Homo heidelberg is they, are close to the Neanderthals and Homo erectus, to place them both as part of, their genes outlasting, the successor themselves. Why the Melanesian and Polynesian are the people with the most Homo heidelberg in their gene pool evolving them past other Cro-Magnon. And they had Homo erectus still around lasting, more than Homo heidelbergensis. If they last more than Neanderthals leaving behind stuff, that ties in with their last meeting, in human genes to people who are, like us. If we know from the fossil record that people are close to the Neanderthal had brush with them, as they continue to lead, civilization. So as I am a new evolving Cro-Magnon, from the roots of Eurasia the last people, and leave as people to date as, the people outlast Homo heidelbergensis as the ones who, last brush with the separate human genomes. How as the thoughts we have more races, are a product of never having any ties with, brush in with a, separate gene pool, and leave behind traits in our carving a path to, salvation and ties with us as they are, closes to the people of our time alive on this planet. So we led lives as great as being descendants of Homo erectus and merged with a, separate people line gene pool, and made people act the way they do from, governing not by the will that we've made, as them people nowadays. If we are a product of intermingling with them, and it's the fossil record tell us, what they aren't the same as us humans living today. For example, they aren't from the lines like, us not Homo erectus or the Cro-Magnon that became us. The moral is why they stayed as, not a part of surviving humans to the rest we outlasted, to make races a tie-in in our, meeting. So why as the masses that govern human beings that eons has passed since then have formed a society, we have Cro-Magnon people to gather as, one and make us a whole, and the people who shape our fate and humanity as, it may be? As we evolve past them they have been forgotten how gatherings as, opposed to the pinnacle of, mankind to split apart, forming the other continents as we are long ago not the early ancestors of long ago or, the first of humankind descendants to overlap each other, the people of Eurasia has lots of in their, genes pool as, I have in me the Homo heidelbergensis genes and Denisovans as part of my encrypted thought process. As the first migrants come out of Africa know. As we evolved as a whole to make you know the consequences of our actions. As the new humans to evolve lastly to meeting the Neanderthals have been overlapping by, the now extinct gene pool and the Austronesian DNA have a lot of as we do to such degree as Southeast Asians share with, the Madagascar people who moved away, like the Hawaii to the Americas and it to, Africa. I think we are like, the island nations and we share a lot of the gene pool of Cro-Magnon not the other way around and make us like, Latin America in appearance and Denisovans in them. So why as the original ones who interbred gather as I am, the last Cro-Magnon to make ends meet from eons old of crossbreeding with, other human lineage, and make ends meet in making being a part, of the world into strife and relaxed manner to who I am as a part of, and as the great gods intended me to save us from, strife. So we are the last humans to face things or turmoil for the good of mankind. That's not all I am a governor of my own whim and writes this to you all out of pure thought process that, the one we meet are other humans, and the ones we hail from Homo erectus, and given only as a thought that we people set out to explore as valuable asset of survival instincts in game. To the rest of you all feeling the right push to have a, gathering method. To us who we now call hope and cherish wishes to Paulina my, love. I am, nothing but, thoughts on this earth put here to fathom my being and reason for knowing how I, came to be. To wishes that we are mend as one in hopes of finding our way through life an enchanted degree of renowned wisdom and preach. To this day we rue as a sum of the earth. Never catching things going off, course. And wager on things, that come and go. No one has shaped, the lives, they're leading. Says true for others not, to care and wishful thinking? Why else, has it we seen reality together? As a sum. No one even dares mention the truth about life. Nor are we governed by the, hand we led, lives. The moral I'll get around to appreciating two people. That met my travel halfway. They prolong the enviable demise head on. Causing friction out of this air. Like crackling. Never guess on something that has no meaning, no one has to play the hand God dealt you, you may think? No one even has a care in the matter, is a spell, recited will bring luck. Never a testament of, a course action? No one dares to care. Cavemen have to be a part of this book. Reason to live with will, and that's to lead a life God intended, that's all. Never showing your back to those led astray and aroma delighted, to banishing others. Never known life without a book, might say that. If we laugh together in the end, it's worth it to mention love. Without love we can't go on, by force. Never knew you were never a tattletale. And it won't come easy to find life has doors for us to open up. Or back up, now. Now if we see who is in store for us. Why leave things as lingering souls do? No, not yet. Has we left love up to fate? And fated love knows no bounds. In the end of sum up. That's how the cookie crumbles and make love important for all. Without no hope someone gets. And without a doubt on your mind. To waver and flail in the thoughts of someone meaningful to you and leave it at that. There's no more worshipping Satan. And for all we care for is to love life and all its grand endeavor. Might as well not matter to them. If all else points to the truth of love. No one misguided will tell you that. The end of stuff caveman might think of. What truly matters is the thought that scoffs out whim of others thinking they'll pass due. For love life lives in weep for longing to be around another breathing soul. No one plays a hand to love's greatest mysteries. Watch out for life that you procreate. And never lose touch with your senses. By God's hand they suffice to treason. And no more pathetic people get? That we have all to offer onto the platter. If plates shift they muster, thinking through others' counsel. The masses has no idea. Why not target someone when they're down? No one is there to tell you otherwise. Why not make a scene in a wave? There's more to life than outweighing the masses together, that's all. Why else could we fathom the enviable end? To some decree that it doesn't matter much. There's more to the story than picking a fight, you say? No, there's nothing, you think? Why else has it been the sole purpose of having something to ponder about? To that decree there's friends like Fernando and Jason, he thinks. Who? Jason. No, not a part of the masses to thank Lord in heaven. Despite of it. I have other friends, I swear that's not him. That's the reason to go to Donovan's and backstab him. To take his brother's stuff. Don't catch me, I'll admit it, and owe him or pay him back. For the things I took out of pure malice vengeance. As a commoner like him knows, not to trifle. Makes me gangster, they will appreciate it later. I hope. Not more to reason than treason. Hope goes out to stuff I regret. My lifetime here on earth is why I don't appreciate people. Up until now. Make it that's the reason I socked my brother then. If I can confess all my deeds I would never guess up to fate to decide. Is why Nico is haunted till this day. He rue it pretty much. The level of null has to be practically lettuce in Cambodian language. That's my guess to why he'll get proof of this soon. Without delay I have not been a bad guest since then. Without guidance I followed the Adrian that brought life with crystal methamphetamine. Not to rat them people out or anything. To bring to light people change and move on. Never have they longed to come close to you. To understand appreciating someone there. Or out of modesty. The God nobility has in store for us to witness such a tragic fate. To neglect the fact I've watched it all happen. Thought it was easy. To never care and bring stuff on the plate. With no remorse and anguish is too off something of value. On another note it ties in with visiting Michael's. Day in and day out to witness I told him that. Moral is never take what's not yours. Other people find they don't belong there without consent towards another individual. And here I confess, and hope to make a profit. To pay him back with this book. to witness a tragic turn for the worst situation out there? Hence, so forth an upbringer of tragic fairyland was the slums. Never to witness an Echo Park a life led for the Austronesians when they were water tribes from the movie Aang or the Avatar. To make matters worst for them, Donovan's crew at headquarters is all I meant by kindness reverted into despair. For I had a time that a date on his balcony L with Angie, and she thinks I don't know it or care at all about her, about what she has to say. And Donald don't resent the feeling, Donald. He's also another individual in lying about the truth for long, and has tempted fate by confession to his girlfriend that stopped mattering to anyone out there. He knows the truth. He confessed and likes that no one thought about it, he thinks. Why do I keep hesitantly vanquishing nothing other than truth on the fate department? That's it. Never realizing null that's nothing is lettuce upon the plate is seldom what we need.